This episode of Ties That Help is brought to you by Netflix. What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be doing my long-awaited review of the Nexus 5. The first thing we're going to talk about is price, because that's what makes the Nexus 5 so special. For 350 bucks you can get a 16GB Nexus 5, and for only 50 bucks more, for $400 you can get a 32GB Nexus 5, which is what I have, the 32 gig. That is a really good deal considering this phone doesn't come with a contract if you buy it off Google's Play Store, and that's where you'll get that price. I think the prices are a little bit different if you buy with a carrier, but it's all going to be around that same price. But of course you'll have to have like a 2-year contract if you get it with the carrier. So now let's take a look at this phone and talk about specs and design. The design of the Nexus 5 is actually really nice. I really like it. On the front of the Nexus 5 is a 4.95 inch display, or as they call it, a 5-inch display. They round it up a bit, and it's 1920 by 1080 resolution at 445 pixels per inch. This is actually a really nice display. Other than the fact that it's 5 inches, it just looks great. The quality is really nice. The colors are vibrant and pop, and yeah, everything's just crisp, sharp, and looks amazing on this display. The phone weighs only 4.95 ounces, so it's really lightweight. It doesn't feel too heavy in your hand. The back of the phone is also really nice. I picked the black version. There's also a white version, which I think is a little bit different, but this one has a really nice like black, matte, smooth finish on the back, which is really nice, and then you also see the Nexus logo there. It feels really great in your hand. It's got pretty good grip on it, so it's not just gonna slide out of your hand. And yeah, it feels nice. Also for me, it fits great in my hand. My thumb is right there where the volume buttons are, so it's easy to access those, and my pointer finger on my left hand can hit the power button very easily. It just kind of like fits perfectly. Not to mention the phone's also pretty freaking thin too. That's really nice. Now, even though I love the design, I've got to have a case on my phone. You guys know me, I drop my phones constantly. I don't want the screen cracking on this thing, so I went ahead and got this Cruiser Light case on Amazon. It was like 13 bucks, and this is probably my favorite case I've ever had on a phone, just because of the look of it. It's got the little Android guy here on the back. It's a blue case. I think you can get it in other colors, but it kind of looks like it's a circuit board, and this case just looks freaking awesome. I don't know if you guys like it, but I absolutely love it. The Android guy looks so cool, and I just like the design of this case. It feels really nice, provides good protection, and it was like 13 bucks, so that's pretty freaking good deal. Now inside the Nexus 5, you're gonna find the Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 2.26 gigahertz while it's a mouthful processor, which is going to give you those lightning fast speeds. And it also has a 2300 milliamp hour battery. Now that's not really a huge battery, especially for someone like me who uses their phone constantly. I'm a heavy phone user. I'm always texting, browsing the web, watching videos, gaming, doing everything on your phone pretty much all the time. And this phone has actually been pretty good to me. The Nexus 5 battery has lasted me mostly all day long. Every now and then I'll throw it on the charger for a few minutes. But yeah, I haven't really had any problems out of the Nexus 5 battery. Obviously it could be bigger and better, but yeah, so far I've been pretty happy with it. Now moving on, let's talk about cameras. On the front of the Nexus 5 is a 1.3 megapixel front facing camera. Flip it over to the back and you will find an 8 megapixel back facing camera. I don't really have anything special to say about the cameras on the Nexus 5. They're just kind of alright. Like if you compare it to something like an iPhone or some of the other top camera phones out there, it doesn't compare. But does it do the job? Yes, it's going to take decent pictures. It's going to take decent video, whether you're using the front facing or the back facing camera. It'll just do the job and take a decent picture for you. It's just not going to look amazing. Pretty much every time that I've wanted to take a picture or a video since I've had this phone, rather than going to this phone first, I went to my iPhone because the camera looks better on it, and why would I use a crappier camera when I have an iPhone camera? One thing I hate about this back-facing camera is the camera lens actually sticks out past the back of the phone. I hate when they do this on phones. That's a major flaw because when you set your phone down on a table on the back, your camera is touching the table, so it has risk of getting scratched and beat up and stuff like that, which you don't want happening. They should have this like recessed in the phone, not sticking out. So if you don't want your camera scratched, you've pretty much got to put a case on this thing. Now moving on, let's talk about the speakers on the Nexus 5, which is probably my thing that I hate most about this phone. I'm not a person that really likes to talk on the phone, and when I do, I normally put it on speakerphone just because I don't like to hold my phone up to my head. Well, the speakers on this phone are so bad. To hear the person, if they're on speakerphone, you pretty much have to hold the phone right up here to your ear to be able to hear them, or it just sounds muffled and distorted, and it's just not loud. It's just not good. Even the speaker here at the top that you use when you're talking on the phone normally, it doesn't sound good. It just sounds muffled and crappy. Like, they did not put good speakers in the Nexus 5. So if you're someone that talks on the phone a lot and you've been thinking about getting a Nexus 5, you probably want to rethink that because you're not gonna be able to hear the person you're talking to. This phone, I would say, is more for those people that say, I don't even use my phone for the phone, I just use it for all the apps and games and texting, because a lot of people don't talk on the phone nowadays. But hey, you gotta expect that. It's a cheaper phone and it's gonna have cheaper parts. And now let's talk about software. The Nexus 5 is a Google phone, even though it's made by LG. It comes straight from Google. Wow, Google Now is picking me up. And since this is a Google phone, there it goes again. You're going to get the stock version of Android. You're not going to get all the extra apps and stuff like that. It's just going to be stock Android, which a lot of people like. Me personally, I actually prefer the Galaxy S4's experience because it has Samsung's like overlays and apps and stuff like that. Personally, I just prefer that over stock Android. Not that I dislike stock Android, I just because I like the Galaxy S4, I guess. I prefer the Android on that. I will say though, Android 4.4 has definitely made a ton of improvements. It's so much snappier and faster, and everything just seems like it runs smoother. It's just really, really nice. They made this like OS a lot more lightweight, so it can run on more phones, and I think they did a really good job with it. I can definitely tell that it has improved. Now, my favorite thing about this phone, which may sound creepy to some people, is when you're on your home screen, Google Now is always listening. And I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love Google Now. It is freaking amazing. It works so well. Way better than Siri in my opinion. And with this phone, I can unlock my device. Okay, Google, iPhone help. And there we go, it searched. I didn't know what to say, but Google Now is super fast on this phone and you can use it so fast, just like that. Okay, Google, and it's ready to hear what I want to say and search the web for it. And it just did. And it's still hearing me. But yeah, the fact that it's always listening, I don't have to tap to hit a button. I can just say, okay, Google, and then it starts listening to me. There, it did it again. That is freaking amazing. I absolutely love that. And you can actually download an app, or you can do it on your lock screen too, so it'll be listening all the time, even if your phone's in your pocket. That's even cooler, but I didn't want to do that because it would drain battery. But yeah, Google Now, amazing. Blows Siri out of the water. As much as I love Android, and now that I've got to try Android 4.4 KitKat, I still have to go with iOS as my favorite mobile operating system, just because it's simple, easy to use, and that's my go-to operating system. I love Android though. I love Google Now. Google Now, just the fact of that alone, almost makes Android better for me, just because I use it so much. I wish I could take the best features from Android and the best features from iOS and merge them all into one operating system to make the operating system that's perfect for me, but I can't do that. But thankfully, I can use both iOS and Android at the same time, which is what I've been doing. Since I've had this phone, I've been using my iPhone pretty much just as much, just like I did when I had the Galaxy S4. Alright, so now it's time for my final thoughts and review of the Nexus 5. Is the Nexus 5 the best Android phone out? Absolutely not, but is it a good price for the phone? Definitely. Again, you can get an off-contract Nexus 5 for as little as $350 for a 16GB version, and then if you want the 32 gig, again, it's 50 more bucks for $400, which is a lot cheaper than most phones if you buy them off-contract. Most phones are like $600 or more, so this is definitely a really, really nice deal. There's not really any standout features about the Nexus 5 that isn't in other Android phones. It's just what makes this phone so great is it does the job and it's at a really cheap price. Like I said before, I've been using the Nexus 5 alongside my iPhone 5S, and it was nice to have both of them because like I've said with my Galaxy S4 review, there's a lot of stuff in Android that's not in iOS, like iMessage and FaceTime, because most of my friends do have iPhones and that's how I message them and talk to them and stuff like that. So I'm probably always going to fall back on my iPhone, but I could definitely use this as my main phone. Didn't have a problem with it. Again, I do prefer the Galaxy S4 over this one, but it's definitely a great phone. Now, would I recommend that you get the Nexus 5? Actually, probably not. You're going to end up spending $350 on the phone, and then you're probably going to go get a 2-year contract anyways, so you'll probably end up spending more on the phone than if you just went ahead and got another Android phone with a contract. Plus, if you're going to go ahead and spend that much money, you might as well go ahead and get a better Android phone than this, because there are way better ones out there, trust me. But it is a good phone. I don't dislike much about it, except for like the speakers and stuff like that. It's a great phone. It's suited me well. There's better phones out there that I would choose over this one. So there you go. There's my review of the Nexus 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Sorry it took me so long to get this review out, because I know I've had this phone for a while. But there it is for you guys, so you know whether you should get this phone or not. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel right there so you don't miss any future tech videos like this from me. It'll notify you on your YouTube homepage when I post more. And yeah, that's about it. Now, before we head out of here, let's take one last look at our sponsor for this video. Netflix streams TV shows and movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix member, you can instantly watch TV episodes and movies, streaming them directly to your PC or Mac, or you can watch them on your TV using your Xbox, your Wii, your Apple Apple TV, your PS3, or you can even watch them on your phone, your iPhone, your Android phone, tablets. It's pretty much everywhere. So if you want to check it out, you can get a 30-day free trial. Just go to netflix.com/Ty and sign up. Again, the URL is netflix.com/Ty.